Hello, Heartrepreneurs. Excited to be with you today. Happy that you're tuning in, and hopefully, you're here live with us and you can actually make some comments and let us know you're here. You can also interact with the broadcast if you'd like to do that. We'd love to
I can't
have you.
hear.
So, we've got a lot to cover, and we've had a little bit of technical problems, which sometimes we do. So, sometimes Mia was able to hear me, and sometimes she wasn't. And apparently, sometimes I sounded like Mickey Mouse. So, hopefully, she's hearing me now. All right, so let me kind of tell you what we're doing and why we're doing this. First of all, I don't go live all that often anymore, and as you probably know, I'm in the middle of a book launch, so I'm pretty much working on that round the clock. So Mia has literally, and I've raved about her for years. You've certainly heard her name. She's literally been my number one client in terms of implementation. And, we don't exactly know how many clients I've served. We know that as of last year, I had 6,000 in my database, and we're not counting anymore. We're just going to leave it at that. So, what we do know is we do know that of all the clients that I've served, she is the number one implementer, and implementation is what makes every single thing work. All right, so I can help you here at Heartrepreneurs. I help my client family members, and some people step up to the plate and implement, and some do not. And I have a feeling Mia is having trouble hearing, so give me just a second here. Give me 1 second. So she might have to drop off and come back in. Give me 1 second. I'm just messaging with Mia. So she's trying to figure out her settings. So let me continue. So everything comes to implementation. So if you take two people that start with me at the very same time, and you have one person who learns from me and doesn't do anything, she had a drop off, she'll be back. You have one person that doesn't do anything. What actually happens is they don't advance. They don't move forward. They don't make more money. Everything stays static and stays the same. And then you have another person, they join at the exact same time. And they come on in and they literally go, oh, that's what you say to do? Boom, they just do it. Then you have the type of person that does this. They question everything. Well, I read something else in a book. Another mentor told me this. Somebody online said this. And all I can tell you is this. When I invest in an expert, I follow only that one expert. That's it. I don't go looking for other solutions, suggestions, who can help me with anything. I hired the person I hired because that person is the person to help me with whatever it is in your business, in your life, with weight loss, in your relationship, sexuality, whatever it might be. I don't really care. When you invest in someone, you have to be all in, and you can't expect them to wave a magic wand and help something happen for you. So let me give you an example. Let's say we both start a weight loss program or a fitness program together. We're going to work out. I show up every day at the gym. I'm eating healthy, and boom, my body's changing. And you're sitting around still reading 10 more books on weight loss. You're investigating every course you can out there, and you're trying to see who else can help you. Who's going to get results? So that's why I invited Mia. Mia, can you hear us now?
Hey, Terri.
All right, she can. Okay, good.
I'm so excited. I am excited to be here with you today. I'm excited to be here with you in your community, in your wonderful community. And I wanted to do this because you didn't ask me, first of all.
No, I did not.
Because you changed my life. And I really mean it. And I know a lot of times we have people who change our lives and it's a secret. No one ever tells that person that you changed my life publicly. Okay. And no one ever says exactly what happens, but I want you to know that I'm exceptionally grateful for not only have you changed my life, but you changed the life of my family. And so I told you, I wrote you a couple of days ago and I said, Terri, I want to tell the community what that is. And so I want us to have an honest conversation today about what that looks like, because I know that there are many people here in this community that maybe haven't used your services, or maybe that should be, okay. Or sometimes people wonder what is real, or there are people maybe who are currently using the services and they could maybe benefit from something that I say today that might make all the difference for their 2020. And I actually, when I wrote you, I had been crying. I told you this, right? I had been crying, and it was really just from overflow of realizing in a lifetime there are very few people who actually do make an impact on our lives so much that they change our lives. And you've changed my life 2 times, and that's significant and notable for me. And it's not something that could go not acknowledged, not acknowledged, to a broader community. So that's why I wanted to come on here today. And I don't know how you want to do this. If you want to ask me questions, or if you want me to just speak.
Good question. So let me just reiterate something Mia said. Yes, she reached out to me. She wrote me several messages, and she told me that she was crying with joyful tears, and she asked to do this. So she's giving her time to be here with you, and I'm saying to you, I really think you should sit up and pay attention and listen, because I look at a lot of your posts. I follow you, many of you on Facebook, and I hear about challenges, problems, struggles, and I don't see a lot of you really changing, other than you spend half your day on social media thinking that that posting is going to make a difference, or blogging or podcasting, or I've got to write a book, or all these things that you're doing. And it pains me, because that means I'm not making a difference for you, and more importantly, you're not making a difference to help the people you want to help. So I'm going to let Mia kind of take you through. We've been on a journey together, and I'm going to let you share whatever you want to share in a way that hopefully will impact other people and get them to be successful.
Yes. So, I think, thank you, obviously, for being you as always. And, what I want to say is that implementation is key. And when you have the right teacher and you have the right mentor, implementation is easy. And you and I started working together. You and I started working together, let's say it was 16 years ago, I think it was. Okay. And at that time, I did not have one product, not one product. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't even know that I would be a coach. I didn't know who I was going to serve. But what you provided for me was an example, and you've been a consistent example of what to do. You've modeled it, but you've also taught the behind the scenes, the step by step, and not made it difficult for me to know exactly what I could step into, which was exactly what you were doing, my own way. And I appreciate that so much, because there are so many experts, gurus, coaches, mentors who promise big things, but in the end, they don't deliver because they actually don't teach you what they do. And one of the things that I think that you've offered me that is a tremendous gift, and I hope everyone here gets this, is you taught me how to build a business from the comfort of my home. From the comfort of my home. So I generate a significant income from the comfort of my home. And it is a desire of most people. Most people want to build a business that allows them to be a full-time entrepreneur, that gives them both income, security, and time. Correct?
Absolutely.
And I have those things, and I had those things because you had those things, have consistently had those things, and the model that you showed me was exactly what you did yourself, and it worked for me. And not only me, I've had an opportunity to know many other students that have mentored with you, that have made a significant income year after year, following the exact same steps. And I think if you haven't had a chance to meet those people, then sometimes you wonder if that's real, right? Because you don't know, but I know, because we all started off the same time, and we had the same type of business. We all wanted to be coaches, and none of us had products. And today we all are very successful coaches. So I thank you. I honor you for that.
And I'll just remind folks, because this is really important, you know, I give every client family member the same opportunities, right? The same. And then what it comes down to is the word that we keep repeating, which is implementation. So many people, Mia, think they have to keep getting more knowledge and going to more courses and more training. And I better learn ClickFunnels. I better learn how to build a webinar. I better write a book. And it's just implementation of step-by-step processes that are proven effective and that work. You have to implement, though. I can't implement for anyone. So, I honor and celebrate you all the time because you step up and implement. If I show an entire group of people something tomorrow, 10 people, I 100% know if you're in the group, you're doing it that day or the next morning. I know that. And I know 9 other people are sitting on it, thinking about it, contemplating it, and investigating other methods.
Yes. So, I think the other thing that's significant to me in your example is that you never taught me flash cash. You never, you, when I met you, you had your coaching school.
Yes.
Okay. You want to talk about integrity. I wanted to be a coach. And the very first thing you told me, because my background, I'm a corporate trainer, you said, Mia, you don't need my coaching school. You need to build your own curriculum.
Yeah.
And that changed my life. That is the foundation by which I run my company today, is building my own curriculum. And I say this to you because I think sometimes, we've all seen teachers and mentors and coaches who have sold us things that were not for us,
Yeah.
that would not support us, that wasn't what we needed because they can make a quick buck. And I think that, because of online marketing, you never know who's real, who's not real, if someone overselling you or underselling you. And one of the things I will say that I value tremendously, I think about that all the time, because you could have sold me. You could have sold me into your coaching school and I would have gone, and I'm sure it would have been amazing, but you didn't, because it wasn't the right solution for me. And one of the things that I know that's helped me tremendously with coaching with you is the fact that the trust level between the student and the coach has to be high. I was never a year but student with you. Never year but.
That's true.
You said do it. I said I'm going to find a way to do it, and I'm going to do it the best way that I can, that you've suggested for me to do it. And because of that, that's why I've been able to create results, because I had the right teacher with the right integrity, the right message, the right method, okay, and the right actions. But you can have the right actions and have all that other stuff not be included, and you're not going to get the results that you desire. And through and through, I mean, I was thinking about it. I was telling my clients recently, I said, look, I was trying to do a landing page when I didn't know what a landing page was. And I know you remember this.
I do.
And you told me how to set up my very first landing page. And I was so happy I did. And then I got on a call with you and you said, how many names do you have? And I was like, but where are the names? Like, where are they? And you're like, why don't you end this call and go find out where the leads are going? Okay, where they're being connected. And I appreciate that about you. And every single thing that I've learned over the years is built and built and built. Whether it's your example with Mark, your husband, because for me that's very important. I wanted to have a coach that was truly free. From the time I met you, you always vacationed in Mexico for a good part of the year, at least 4 months of the year. I was like, who's running a business in another country? Like, I still don't know anyone that does that. And I knew that you could teach me how to be free because you walk that walk. So, and that's really one of the things that I wanted, was freedom more than anything. And you had it. And I knew you could do that. The other thing I wanted was someone to teach me that had authentic relationships that mattered, family. And your family with Mark, I've had an opportunity to meet him over and over again. And that mattered to me because in the coaching space, a lot of speakers, they travel so much and a lot of people don't have connected relationships. That was really important to me as well. And the third piece for me was proof of concept. And I knew again and again, and if you guys are listening and you've never gone to any of Terri's live events and seen how she closes, it for me, I remember, this is maybe like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and you were selling like $20,000 things back then.
Mhm.
And I think it was maybe 20, 30 people that said yes. And I just knew for a fact. I said, look, I don't know if all these people are buying things for $20,000, $30,000. I don't know if all 30 of these people are buying this. But what I do know is that she can show me how to sell something for $5,000 because of what I saw. And that was enough for me.
Mm.
And, at some point when you're watching teachers and mentors and coaches who are supporting people and rising, and you're watching them, what they're doing for themselves, even that shows you the proof of the success, at some point you have to jump in. And you don't need to have all of the answers. Like, I didn't need to say, is Terri making millions of dollars to say I want to work with her? I was like, I'm in this room right now. There are 30 people in line for a $20,000 offer. I'm good. She can help me make $5,000. And that's how I've always approached every single thing
Mm.
in terms of getting a return on investment, which I think is important. It's an important, just a basic thing to think about, because I think when people are debating whether they should or shouldn't invest with a coach, they always are thinking about what the investment is. What I've always thought about is the return
Brilliant.
of what I would get as a result of saying yes. And I'm like, well, if I'm here right now, if I invest 2,500, she teaches me how to sell something for $5,000, and this is 12, 13 years ago, I'm good, because I'll do that for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
I'm in.
Exactly. And that's a big piece of what I talk about, right? I believe that we're always the mirror. So if you sit around going, oh, I don't have the money, I can't afford this, I'm not going to do this, and then you go talk to potential client family members, you're going to get the same thing, because you're the mirror. They're going to say to you, I'm not sure if I can join your program, I don't have the money, I have to think about it. I want to work with people who want to work with me. I want to work with people who basically take a look at things and say, I'm in, I'm jumping in, I'm really ready to go. So Mia keeps having a problem on her end. So we're going to see if we can get it fixed, because I see that other people are hearing. So hopefully it's some of your speakers, your headset, or where the sound's coming from. But I'm going to address that while Mia's waiting for just a second. So what happens in my experience is this: people take a look and they decide not to do something. Oh, I'm not ready to do this. I don't have the money to do it. We're talking on a coaching call on Monday, and one of my client family members was like, well, you don't understand. I need to make money. I'm like, oh, no, I do understand. In order to make money, you have to spend some money, or otherwise you need to get a job. And that's just fact, okay? You cannot grow a business with nothing. The number one reason people go out of business is they go in undercapitalized. And I always say to people, build capital before you build a business. So if you're, quote, struggling, challenged,
Yes.
frustrated, and getting client family
Yeah.
members, that's because you're not jumping in and either getting the right mentor. I'm not always saying it's me. I'm not the right fit for everyone, and I'll send you other people. Get the right person to help you. And this is not a go it alone thing. Small business today is not a go it alone thing. And we are, despite what the political economy says, I have a very, very clever husband who's a financial advisor and strategist. We're heading into the biggest recession we've ever had, because the economics we have, some of you were around for Ronald Reagan. I'm not dissing him, but it's the exact same economics
Yes.
which led to a very serious recession. And we're headed there. How are you going to survive in business? So I'm sorry to interrupt me, and that just came up for me.
I think that one of the things I always think about is what allows you to exercise your faith, right? So when you're talking about growing a business, it's a faith walk. When you're talking about choosing a coach, it's a faith walk. There are no promises, there are no guarantees. You didn't guarantee for me, right? You didn't say, Mia, if you do these things, this is definitely going to happen. Okay. But along the way, there was evidence.
Yes.
Okay. And along the way, for all of us, there is evidence that it's working, that you're growing, that you're learning. And what I was able to see very early in coaching with you, in my very first program, was the model of how to do what I do today. I am doing exactly today what you modeled for me, literally. I did not know how to run a group coaching program over the phone. I did not know how to do that. I had never done that before. And what I do today and have been doing for over a decade You modeled for me over and over and over again how to do it, what to say, how to set the calls up, how to distribute the content. I I I knew what I knew how to do, okay, professionally. I did not know how to do that as a coach.
Mhm.
Correct?
Correct.
And because I had the right mentor, and you're the right mentor, and anyone that's in this community, the results are amazing. Okay? Like, I guess I think about your results, then I look at the compounded results that I've seen collectively inside a community. You look at somebody like Jackie,
Yeah.
Jackie D,
Yeah.
who in a relatively short period of time closed over $100,000 in business. Like, and she's brand new, but what does she have that we all can learn from? The same thing. She had the right teacher, the right method. She's an implementer.
Hmm.
She's not a yeah but person, okay? And she's highly actionable. And it doesn't really matter who it is. If you have those characteristics and the right mentor who shows you exactly the inside of their business, how many mentors show you exactly what they do? Most do not.
Correct.
How many give you the exact scripts, the exact structure, to tell you all the trade secrets? How many? You even gave me my very first VA. I don't know if you
I
know that.
remember.
Okay,
Yes, I do.
I needed a VA. I didn't know what would I do with a VA. I mean, how many coaches give you those types of gifts that continue to give over and over and over again? One of the greatest things I appreciate about you is that the way that I serve my clients today is that I had an opportunity to stand on your shoulders and say, okay, this is what I have to do for sure, because this served me. I didn't have to reinvent the wheel or figure it out, and neither did I want to. I wanted to have a business that would be successful. And why would I not do what you were modeling and showing that I knew worked? There were people in the classes, I knew it worked. And what I believe is that what separates people is their ability to trust themselves. I think most people know the right thing. They know what works,
Mm.
but their ability to trust themselves, to say, I'm valuable enough, I deserve this enough, I'm gonna trust that, I can invest at a high level in myself if I want a full solution. I mean, if you don't want a full solution, that's a whole different conversation. And clearly, that's a different conversation. But if we're talking about people who really want to hit six figures and beyond in their business, then you would, of course, invest in a high solution in yourself, right? A full solution, because you want the answer. Now, if you're a person that you don't want the answer, you would invest in a band aid, right? For a wound.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to be healed because of that. You know what I'm saying? So, and one of the things that I've seen over and over again, you've seen over and over again among your clients who do exceptionally well, is that people who invest in the full solution, they put their skin in the game, they do the work, they create success. And the success can look a lot of different ways. Like when I first got started, I was not like everybody talks about on TV, like an overnight success, or on the internet, everybody's a success over in 24 hours. That was not me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a success in different ways because I didn't know what a landing page was, and I learned it. I didn't know how to build a coaching program, and I had to build that. I didn't have a product or a book. I mean, heck, I didn't even know I could pitch to corporate partners. And you coached me through my very first Fortune 100 deal with Panera Bread. I never even thought that that was going to happen. Heck, you coached me through writing my very first book. I remember you writing me and saying, okay, when are you going to stop writing the book? Because you could actually write, you remember that?
I
You could
do.
write the second book. So, there's something beautiful about longevity in a relationship. And I just want to mention this. Hopefully, I'm not talking too long about this, but some people never get to experience the beauty of a coaching relationship because they don't stay in the relationship. Okay. I've coached with you a long time. You know my business, you know my family, you know my needs. You know what I'm good at, you know what I'm not good at, what I need tweaking. You're able to reach deeply and coach me and say things to me that can be transformative for me because you understand me. And there's value in that relationship, and not starting over and starting, looking for that new shiny object over and over again. I value the continuity of the relationship. I value the way the relationship changes as you grow in the relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're I hope that people that are listening right now, whether they're current clients or you've been looking to figure out who should be your coach, she should be your coach. But okay, but that there's a value in that long term relationship and having a coach that has more for you over and over again. And there was one more thing I wanted to say, Terry, related to this. Like, deep appreciation and gratitude. I mean, just recently you introduced me to one of your mentors, and well, last year, you know, okay. And what I will say is this, that again, here it is. Terry introduces me to her mentor, which is a very generous thing, by the way. And then as a result of me meeting her mentor and him teaching me something, I make hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's a gift. Like, I don't take any of those things for granted. The fact that you would share at that level with me. And the fact that every time you share something abundantly with me and I do something with it, that's a tip, great things happen. And there's more of it. It's always something, whether it's a resource, a tool, a mentor, and having someone that mentors you that has an overflow of things to give is a beautiful thing. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, you said something I want to piggyback on. I've had, as many of people here know, and you know me, I've had the same mentor for 16 years because I take that as a committed relationship. And that mentor has become a very close friend of mine and someone that also hires me to consult with him. Okay, so we look at each other as peers and we're really close friends. That relationship is so important because I don't take a lot of people telling me what to do because honestly, most people that I know aren't that successful. I take it from him. He can call me and go, "Don't do that. That's the wrong thing." And I'm like, "Okay." Because I know, first of all, he really has my back. He has my best interest in mind. And he is looking out for me because he cares about me. And the second thing is, I took a lot of people to meet this mentor a year ago, a little more than a year ago. We went to LA, took a lot of my client family members. And most of my client family members didn't do anything with that information, or maybe did a little. I wouldn't just say nothing. Maybe they changed their outfit or made a couple of changes. You, on the lunch break, while everyone else was having lunch, you took the advice that he gave in the teaching. You went upstairs, you did it, you came back, and you'd made like 90 something thousand
Yes.
dollars, right? Everyone else was eating lunch. And I really want people to get this. This is the difference and the distinction. I wouldn't introduce you or any of my client family members to a product, to a service, or to a person unless I deeply knew I've already used this. It's already massively making a difference. Here it is for you. Okay. So I think that's really important. And it's a part of the longevity that you mentioned in the relationship. I have had several of my clients who have been with me it's going to be 25 years in February. 3 of my client family members, they've been with me for 25 years. 25. And people have said to me, "Well, why?" I'm like, "Well, one person grew a business so dramatically, she sold it. She started another one. She built it
Yes.
into a company. She
Yes.
wants to sell it, and now she's doing something completely different." I mean, we're growing and expanding. And Mia, you know me, I'm a continuous learner. I learn every day, and then I pass on all the things that my client family members need. So, two takeaways that I felt are really important is the longevity when you find someone, whoever that is. Stick with them. Don't keep hunting for more. This is what people seem to do. They're like, "I'm going to try this. Oh, I'm going to try this."
Mhm.
You have to be consistent.
Yes.
And then the second thing is, and it goes back to that same implementation word, it's not the "yeah, but," it's the "just go do it." So Joel Bauer, my mentor of 16 years, there are a few things that Joel has told me over the 16 years that I went, sounded crazy.
Hmm.
He said to do it. I did it. And every single time it's paid off. So that's a lesson I really want people to hear as well.
Yes. No, I agree wholeheartedly. And, I thank you. I did want to make sure I was clear because I said to you, I wanted to make sure everybody understood this. As a result of working with Terry, I've made millions of dollars, literally. I made no dollars when I first got started. I had no products, none. And I've made millions of dollars. And when my husband developed kidney disease, that's 8 years ago, and was on dialysis 3 times a week, 2.5 hours each dialysis session. It was very aggressive for our family. My kids were really young at the time, 11, 9, 7 years old, and which I can't believe it. And I was able to stand in the gap for my family because I had built a business. That I had learned how to build a business, and because I had the right mentorship. And I say this to all of you out here, that a lot of times as women, we build our businesses codependent, thinking that our partners are going to be the person. I don't care if it's a guy or if it's a girl. You think your partner is going to be the person that's going to, take care of you. But what if instead you built a business to add value to your own life? And as a result of doing that, when your family needs you, you could stand in the gap for them. In our case, that meant we could hire a private physician for Patrick. For 2 years. We hired a private doctor for him so he could get an elevated level of care. Eventually, he got a kidney transplant. He's doing amazing. And to me, the success that I've created has been all like, it's been so amazing because I get to duplicate that in my community and teaching women, other women, exactly the importance of standing in the gap for themselves first so that they could be available for their families. And I think so many of us have gotten that part wrong, and we've acted like it's a dirty word.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have never been able to do this without the right mentorship. And I have great gratitude for that. That's why when I say Terri changed my life twice. And that was a significant, scary time for us. And money was not a concern because I had built a business that could be there for my family. And I hope you guys hear my heart on this. No, it's not money, money, money. No, money is a tool that when things happen in your life, which things happen, right? Doesn't matter, good things happen. And sometimes unstable things happen. But if you have resources, it changes how you navigate through those things. And I was able to be there for my family. And, I think about that. I think about the fact that we've been able to invest over 900 grand in elementary, middle, and high school, not college, elementary, middle, and high school. Would that have been a possibility without a successful business? No. Money is a tool to be able to create options for yourself. And I'm so grateful for those gifts that you've deposited in my life over and over and over again. And, I think one of the things that I've said to my clients over and over again, I said, like, when you think about people in your life, right, you think about the value that folks add to your life, and people add different kind of value. It's not a contest. But I think, how many people have modeled for me how to be free in my life? How many people have I ever met in my lifetime that have taught me how to build a business, have freedom so I can be the mom at the school that I want to be? I hope in my life, date my husband in the middle of the day. I only know one person that modeled that for me. I've never met anyone else that has run a business like you do and like I do today because of your model. And I'm grateful for that. Like, sometimes the gifts are not just gifts of building a product. Sometimes it's the model of how to live. And that deposit for me changed everything. Like, you know, it's changed everything for me. And as a result, my kids have never seen their mom or dad ever work a job. That's pretty powerful.
Super powerful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to address freedom for a minute because prior to this business, I had owned a lot of other businesses. And what I realized when I started this business, now oh, it's almost 25 years ago, is I wasn't free in any of those businesses, right? So I built these multi-million dollar, I'll call them empires, and I was literally a slave to the business. I literally worked night and day. I was not feeling healthy. I didn't even want to talk to people. I was like burnt out on everything. And I started the coaching and consulting business. And transparently, year one, I went back into my old habit. So all of a sudden, I had 30 clients in 30 days. And at the end of the year, I realized while I'd made right around $500,000, working 80 hours a week.
Yes.
And I stopped. I said, that's a job. And that's when I created, way before anybody else ever thought of this, I created group coaching. And when I did, I remember Thomas Leonard, who was my coach at the time, and he said, I don't think you can really coach as many people at once. And I said, I'm doing it for free as an experiment. and we'll see if it works. And when they came back to me and said, I got better results, it's more synchronistic, I love this, that's when I changed my whole business and decided I was going to disrupt the coaching industry and really teach this. What's important to me is the truth of freedom. And I'm going to explain this without calling people out. I know a lot of people, coaches, consultants, advisors, trainers, teachers,
Yes.
healers,
Thank you.
and they all preach this word
Learn from
freedom.
the best.
Right, freedom, and liberation, freedom. And when I get behind the scenes into their lives, I'm like, okay, that's not real. It is real in my life, okay? It is. And it's so important to my life, to my family. I've got 11 nieces and nephews, as you know, Mia. I have a slew of great nieces and great nephews. They're scattered all over the country, and I choose to be in their lives. My husband is super important to me. His 92-year-old mom is important to me. I have cousins, and I have an aunt, and my family is very important. I don't want to be a slave to anything. I want to have freedom. And
Yes.
then I want to teach other people like you to have the same thing, because then I know you're teaching that. I see
Yes.
what you do with your wonderful community. You're
Mm-hmm.
teaching that to them. And so my whole concept of Heartrepreneur is I pass forward what I know gives me a great quality of life and business, in the hopes that not only does it do it for you, but then you will open your heart and do it for others. And you are my exemplary example of being a entrepreneur.
Thank you. Well, I love you. You already know this. Everybody knows this. I've told you years ago I would tell the world because you changed my life, um, you have, and I can't think of many people that have changed my life. Okay, and I know many people, and it's an honor, and I wanted just to come here today, just so any of you guys that are listening, you know, it's true. And Terri changed my life. You're the real deal. And people say real deal all the time, but they don't really mean it. But you really are the real deal. And there's so much knowledge here. And if you haven't participated in a live event, you should just choose one and commit to coming to one. And you'll learn a lot just from being there. Or if you haven't participated in a webinar, get started that way. You know, make a decision and a commitment. The level of mentorship that's available on our coaching calls every single week, it's amazing what you will learn. But you have to commit at a high level, and you have to make a decision that now is the time, not that you're getting ready, but that you are ready, and you will figure it out. And once you do, then somehow the universe or God meets you right there, and you will see that there's alignment and congruency, because none of these things happen for me by me saying, Terri, I'm going to work with you. I said, Terri, I am going to work with you today.
Yep.
And that's that. And it's been a journey since.
Wow. So I want to thank you. You've been here generously, giving
Thank you.
your time. You asked to be here. And I want to have you tell people where they can connect with you, because what you do for women is so beautiful and amazing. And if someone's a mom out there, you know a mom, you need to understand what Mia does. So would you take a moment? Yep. Can you still hear me, Mia?
Yes. So
Thank you.
thank you.
So I'm not sure if Mia hears me. Let me text her. She loses me every few minutes.
So I just want to say thank you for having me. I appreciate you for having me here today, Terri. And I'm a business coach, and I got started in my business 16 years ago. I support high achieving women with packaging what they know at the highest level, pricing, to fully value their transformation and positioning themselves as the obvious choice. To connect with me, you can simply visit miaredrick.com.
Beautiful. I love you, Mia.
Really, you need to visit with you. They need to visit with you. Okay, I love you.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye now.